YGGC Malaysia Sdn Berhad. I wish every one of you has taken your dinner tonight. So my name is Michael. I'm the community leader of YGGC Malaysia. So welcome to all friends to join our event today. Okay, so tonight we have invited a very special guest to do a very good sharing. All right. So the topic for today's sharing is blockchain and money. So I believe that recently a lot of members, friends who are interested in blockchain, all right, but however, they have no idea about what is blockchain and what actually blockchains can work together with them. All right. So maybe you are interested in blockchain but don't know where to start and how to start, and you don't know the myth of the blockchain or why blockchain is the future trends for every one of us yeah, in these centuries. So no worry, tonight we have invited a very specialist, a very genius specialist to share about the blockchain knowledge to every one of us. All right. So this special guest is our blockchain advisor of YGGC Malaysia. So without spending more time or wasting the time, so we are now welcome to our special guest speaker today, Mr. Suresh Naidu Sadasivan.
Yes.
Yeah, Mr.
Hi,
Suresh.
everyone.
Uh,
Hi,
yeah,
Michael. Thank you for the introduction. Anyway, there are many other geniuses out there.
yeah,
Okay. I'm just a small fry inside.
yeah.
Okay. Basically, what we are doing is now we are trying to build a community with the right knowledge and proper knowledge.
Mm,
So that is main purpose of YGGC,
yeah.
a proper community who has got a good knowledge on anything that is related to blockchain and stuff. Okay.
Mm,
All right. Hello, everyone. So before I start, let me introduce myself. I'm Suresh Naidu Sadasivan. At the moment, I'm blockchain advisor for YGGC and also senior blockchain consultant of APU. All right, Asia Pacific University of Technology and Innovation.
mm,
So before I start, so I have got slides, right? So to share, and I just wanted to let you know, probably if you might have got some ideas, because a lot of people when they go in straight away they only look at cryptocurrency, then
mm,
straight away they talk about cryptocurrency. Okay, I'm buying. They'll come and ask me, I want to buy Bitcoin. I want. Sometimes people will come and tell, I want to join Bitcoin. How to
yeah.
join Bitcoin?
Mm,
Because they don't have the right idea. What is this all about? They see other people, talk about cryptocurrency, blockchain, and everything. So nowadays,
yeah.
even in if you listen to like BFM radio and all, they even when they talk about stock market and share market, they even talk
Mm,
about every day they are updating on what is the price of Bitcoin today,
yeah.
price of Ethereum. Sometimes. So it has come to a normal norm for people to talk about crypto already. Like you have to come into it already. So people
Yes.
will straight away jump into cryptocurrency rather
Yes.
than then after that anything happens or they don't have enough knowledge and then they
Mm,
lose out. Okay,
yeah.
when they lose, they will start blaming everything other than
Yes.
themselves. All right.
Mm,
So even until today, I continue learn. All right, I
mm,
continue to learn. I will still read book, even though it is blockchain, but it is developing super fast that you have to keep learning. Right. It's
yes.
not something that you learn once and then you leave out. No. Sometimes you have to
Mm,
refresh. Sometimes I myself will listen to other people talk about blockchain, even though it
mm,
is a very simple information. But sometimes when you continue listening many times, you will remember it better.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let me share my slide.
Okay.
Okay. I hope everyone can see. Michael, can
Mm,
you can
yeah.
see? Yeah.
Can. Mm,
Okay. All right. All right. So basically, the topic today will be blockchain and money. And sorry about the background. So I couldn't. It was a last minute thing that I did. So these are some of my, you can see my email there, and also some my mobile number in case you are unable to ask me during this session. All right. And another thing, since I am sharing the slide, I won't be able to see your questions typed right on the screen. So probably I will take up the questions once you have finished, or in case maybe Michael can stop after some time, or maybe you wanted to read for me.
Yeah.
Also, is okay.
Mm.
Other than I can, I'm ready to answer that. All right. Okay. Let's get move on. This. All right. Now, why blockchain and money? Why is this topic? All right. No, it has become a hype, right? As I mentioned just now. Okay, every problem can be solved. Go blockchain means anything. You can use for anything. You want to use blockchain. Oh, easily problem solved. And then involvement in cryptocurrency. It's a very high risk, but people are shallow or almost no knowledge on blockchain. As also I mentioned just now, since it's the talk of the town, many MLM and scam companies are on the rise, claiming to be blockchain companies. Right? Even up to today, I'm still seeing a lot of these scam companies and MLM companies are coming and trying to recruit people and always claim we are the best blockchain. We are creating for the next future. This is going to be ours. Will be the best, and we are going to overtake Bitcoin. And still, people, I don't understand how they fall for it. Okay, now there is a need for a complete understanding of the technology before taking any investment decision. And also, I'm not here to give any investment advice. Basically, I'm not telling you, oh, go and invest into this particular crypto, go invest in that, invest in this, and stuff like that. Right? Now, important knowledge for students who are going to be in the blockchain in the future as blockchain. It's not just crypto, it's part of IR 4.0 also. So it is generally, I will try to cover for everyone. And also to let you know, I have simplified a lot of things as I progress, right? So probably you might realize that I don't go into too much into details of a lot of things, all right? So some of those things maybe you can write down somewhere or point out, maybe for you to have a read up the next when you go online or something like that, all right? Okay, let's look at the evolution of money. All right. So now, since it's blockchain and money, all right, we have to start from the beginning. Normally, what happens, people will always miss out the journey, the history, right? Or sometimes the history has been, people change the history until you don't know uh, why or how it all started, all right? Now, initially, we used to have, in Malay, we say system barter or barter system, all right?
Yeah.
Where
Mm.
for you exchange goods for your item that you have. Maybe for a cow you exchange two goats, or
Yeah.
for chicken you exchange some other
Mm.
item. So this
Yeah.
used to be the beginning stage. Then later on, humans, okay, people, they found gold, right? Maybe if you remember, probably you always see a lot of movies, maybe even in Indian movies and Chinese movies, a lot of movies, basically even English movies, we always get to see those days, the kingdom days of
Mm.
movies, where the kings will always keep a packet of gold and pass it to the people. Now go and do this, go and do that.
Yeah.
Or he will tell, oh, okay, now this is your salary or whatever. So it was given in gold, right? And there were like
Mm.
metal coins came out after that, right? So this
Mm.
is evolution. Then as it went by, even salt has been used as a money previously,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So then became, paper money was created, and then
Mm.
followed by plastic card, then became electronic money, e-money. Then
Yeah.
now we are seeing as what we see now as cryptocurrency. So you
Mm.
see, this is how the money has evolved. But one thing you should realize, every stage where the money has evolved, people have adopted. All right.
Mm.
Because I always hear people talk about cryptocurrency is bad, cannot, you have to get rid of that. It's impossible, for you to do now, because majority of the people are already adopting it. All right. So it's
Mm.
not easy for you to take away even. But this particular talk, okay, when it comes to money, at
Mm.
every stage, there were a small group of people who were
Mm.
always against it. All right. Even you talk about credit card or plastic cards, people were against it. Paper money, people were against it. And when the times of gold, you say, oh, how can you give gold, this is very less and stuff like that. So this
Yeah.
has been the norm. All right. So when as they travel in the form of money, all right, so we are
mm,
going step by step, then we look at the banks. Banks came up, right? Now where are you going to keep the money? So some people, they came up with the idea, okay, since you all have so much of money, you don't know where to
mm,
keep, you're afraid that it can be stolen, so therefore come, give it to me. So those days
mm,
they used to have people who will keep the money for you, right? And
yeah,
then they acted like banks. So if you look at history, back in 1690 to 1776 itself, money and
mm,
banking in colonial America has already started. In fact, it is
yes,
already started before that. But
mm,
to be known to people, how it evolved is this is roughly the area where the banks all started, right? And
yeah,
evolved as it went. Experiments with central banking started 1791 to 1836, and then 1837 to 1863 there was this free banking era and financial panics and bank runs, and evolution of the Federal Reserve System started somewhere in 1913, right? So
mm,
even for the banks, there used to be a history. Once upon a time, if you have watched all the cowboy movies, you realize, the cowboys will use their horses and they will rob the banks, and then they will
mm,
tie this, they keep the money into a big safe, and then they will just tie the rope, and then they will drag the money, and then they run away. All right. So it used to be those cases before. All right.
mm,
But then what I'm trying to highlight here is, if you look at this history of banks, even bank when they started, they were not safe, right? And
mm,
people were stealing money. Exactly what is happening in this era now. All right, when things start initially, there are always security issues. All right,
mm,
there is always security issues where people always complain. Oh, imagine in the 1690 or 1775 or 1791, people go and steal money. Who are you going to complain to? Maybe to the sheriff, okay, police. But then
mm,
once it's gone, it's gone. All right.
yeah,
So I mean, the losing money part, it's like a norm. It's until today is happening. Even with the era of cryptocurrency, it's already it is also happening. All right.
mm,
So, but the thing is, as it evolved, there were measures taken, or there were research done, for them to become more secure and all that. Now it's not that easy for you to go and um, rob the all the banks at the same time in the world. Cannot.
mm,
Of course,
mm,
the robbery cases are still here and there. You read in
mm,
the newspapers, oh, this
mm,
bank was, it's branches basically, or this branch
mm,
of a bank was robbed, that branch
mm,
was robbed. It's still
mm,
happening, right?
mm.
So security, this is what I'm trying to say. So
Yes,
now what
yes,
I'm
yes.
seeing here is we had cash, right? And then because of the cash, the banks came about, right?
Mm,
Now, what is the problem with the banks now? All right. The problem is always the fractional reserve banking system. They always call that. You can actually go and Google on this, right? And people always say that the largest scam in the world is not the MLM that you are involving. It's basically the banks. I'm not saying this, all right? So I'm not saying that banks are scam. The researchers and a lot of people already said that. Okay, so I'm just using their opinion, and I'm telling you here, which you can actually, I don't want you to go and complain to the central bank and say, hey, he's calling all the banks a scam and all that. All right. But look at what happens here. Look at, if you see the picture that I'm just sharing here, basic fractional reserve banking cycle. Let's say one Mr. A go and deposit 1,000 ringgit, okay, dollars, okay, $1,000 in a bank, right? Now, by law, the banks are supposed to reserve only 10% of whatever people are depositing with them, right? So
mm,
imagine here, Mr. A deposits 1,000, and the banks will reserve $100 with them. But what they do, they will loan out another 90% to outsiders, right? To someone. Okay, whoever, we always go for housing loan, personal loan, so many loans, business loans, and stuff like that. So these 90% are actually loaned out to people. So if you see number two there, right? It is, let's say somebody takes that 900, right? Now, can you imagine you or Mr. A went and put in $1,000 in the bank, but now $900 is already out. Now, at this point, if you see on your right hand side, there is 1,900 in the system,
mm,
right? But the bank only has got $100 with them, right?
mm,
For Mr. A, he feels I have 1,000 in the bank. For Mr. B or whoever borrowed money, he will say I borrowed $900.
mm,
But it's coming out from the 1,000. Now let's say this Mr. B takes the 900 and he goes to another bank, right? And let's say he deposits in that bank. So as usual, the reserve will be $90, and that particular bank will loan out $890, which is the 90%. Now, Mr. C is now borrowing $810. Now, if you look at it carefully, at this point, there is 2,710 ringgit in the system. Mr. A is 1,000, Mr. B is 900, and this Mr. C borrowed money of 810. Now, this Mr. C now goes to another bank, number three, and he deposits in there $810, right? Now, the reserve here is 81, and the bank will loan out $729. So, Mr. D borrows $729. Can you see at this point of time, there is 3,439 in the system, but the bank has only got $271 in total. Imagine all these banks go bankrupt at the same time. What is going to happen? Gone. Okay, it has happened. Just go and Google for have banks gone bankrupt and all that, or at one point of time where there's a need for cash for all the people at the same time. Because how the bank is going, you don't go and borrow money, or you take out the money you deposit. Not everyone will go together at the same time and take out their money. It won't happen,
mm,
right? If
mm,
1,000 people are depositing money, maybe at one time maybe 100 people will take out their money, but then
mm,
balance 900 people's money is still there. So these
mm,
banks, they just roll it,
mm.
right? But look at the system, so don't you think, or no, don't you think that what the people have said about banks being scammed is true? It's very true here. All right. Okay. It's your money. But end of the day, you know what? When, for the money that you put in, they will charge you back. Okay. They will charge you back. They say, oh, if you want to take out early, you have to pay back this amount, pay that amount. For you, because you're saving with us, you have an annual fee of, 2 ringgit or 5 ringgit or
Mm,
whatever money. But comes to
mm,
hundreds of thousands of people putting money in the
mm,
bank. Can you
mm,
imagine how much they're collecting? All right. All right. So there's a reason why I'm sharing this about this bank. So we looked at money, we looked at the bank, and we looked at the problem with the bank. Okay, fractional reserve banking system. All right. So let's leave it from there, and let's go into this one, another particular area called cryptography. So
mm,
let's forget about blockchain or whatever that we are talking about. Let's go into the history now. Okay, so I brought in to you the money, and then I brought into you the bank, and then their problem. Then
mm,
comes the thing called cryptography. Right, now what is this
mm,
cryptography? Basically, it's a practice of reading and writing encrypted code. Right.
mm,
It is the art of protecting information by transforming it or encrypting it into an unreadable format called ciphertext. Now, chances are when you are in school, primary or secondary school, I'm not so sure. I'm sure
mm,
you had these word games whereby you communicate or you write letter to your friend. You will have certain code words. Let's say for A, you maybe, example like this. All right. Instead of A, you will write B. Instead of
mm,
B, you'll write C. So what you'll do,
mm,
this is a code. Only you and your friend will know that. So let's say when you say, when you want to write Abu, for example, for letter A, you won't write A, you'll write B.
mm,
Okay. And for B, you write C. And U, after U, what comes? U, V. So you'll write like B, C, V. But actually, B, C, V indicates Abu.
mm.
But that B, C, V that you wrote is the ciphertext. So when
Okay.
your friend reads it, he will know, because he knows that the letter that comes after every letter is the word that you have to write. So what you'll do, you take a pencil and you'll see, oh, it's written B here. So B meaning it's A. All right. Or then C here. Oh, C meaning it's B. That's
Mm,
why you write A, B. Oh, V means it's U. Oh, it's Abu. Okay, so he will decode it, okay, and
mm.
decrypt it basically. So
Yeah.
basically, this is the idea of cryptography, right? In a very simple way, right?
Mm,
So this particular idea of cryptography has started even during even BCE. Egyptians have already started before, right?
mm,
Egyptians, even way before Egyptians, even you have. Even in India, in China, even way before all this, they already have this cryptography in a different format, right?
mm,
Even now, sometimes you go and read on the stones or every anywhere that it has been written, it sometimes you won't understand. So you need these historians or archaeologists to decipher the code and tell you what exactly it is. All right. So if you look at this history here, Romans, then you had during World War One, they use. I'm sure you have seen they use a Morse code. You know, they'll send information and stuff. Even during World War Two, they use, right. And from 1970s to the present, all right, the type of cryptography we are using now is called universal product code. This was invented basically somewhere before the 70s, and from the 70s to now, we are using this what we call as UPC. Of course, we are not
mm,
going to go into the UPC, but this is just a general knowledge now.
mm,
Then this international data encryption algorithm, right? It's called international data encryption algorithm or idea, invented by Swiss mathematicians, right? It can be carried out quickly because it uses maths that comes naturally to computers, right?
mm,
Now, widespread use of computers and data transmission in e-commerce and finance is making the cryptography very important now. So this is how the cryptography came about, right? Okay, moving on. Question. Now, why is money still in physical form and controlled by central bodies? Remember, earlier we saw money, and then we looked at the evolution of the money, and then we looked at banks, okay, and then we looked at cryptography. Now, people who learn cryptography and all that, now they have started questioning. Look at posts. Now, I'm sure whoever watching this now, listening to this now, probably I don't think so. You are still writing letter to your friend. Okay, I don't think so. You are still writing letter to your parents or anyone overseas. You know, it is immediate. You go send email. You have WhatsApp. It's just matter of seconds. You know, people will receive, no matter from which country they are. Right, and then even items like taxi and food. You know, they all has gone into apps where they are transferring. All right, but then the thing is, the money is still in physical form. All right. So, you know, it's like you need to hold it and try it. Of course, we used to have the electronic money and stuff like that, where now we already have apps to transfer money. But yet, it is still not, you know, it is equivalent to the actual cash that is kept by the central bank or the banks, basically. All right. You can say, yes, it's in the app, but still, there is an equivalent value of hard cash available out there. Correct or not? All right. Only thing
mm.
is we are transferring it e-transfer. That's all. All right. So now this is where we need to go into the history a little bit. Still,
Yeah.
we have not reached the blockchain part yet, right? So
Mm,
this was the question. So now people might think, people will always say, oh, cryptocurrency, blockchain started only recently, 1998 or 2008, sorry. Oh, only in 2008 all started. No, actually no. All right. If you look at it historically, because that is why I brought in the idea of cryptography. All right. Now, in 1970s and 1980s itself, right? Stanford and MIT mathematician, they had a breakthrough, what they call it as public key cryptography, right? Now, since the usage of cryptography is already there, they already had a breakthrough about public key cryptography and private key cryptography, where ordinary
mm,
people could encrypt message that only be decrypted by intended recipient. That means if I want
mm,
to send it to A, only A will be able to receive it or will be able to see that. Not
mm,
even by supercomputers. Okay, that means even supercomputers won't be able to open it. Right
mm,
now, this particular breakthrough of public key and private key later played a central role in Bitcoin software. Right,
mm,
so it is not something that just started. People started like that. Oh, Bitcoin just came about, then bomb, everything came. No way.
mm,
All right,
mm,
the actual idea, everything has started back in 1970s already, right?
mm.
Now I'm talking about 50 years ago, roughly, right? 70, 30, 20, yeah, roughly about 50 years ago. So
Okay.
I won't say, so something which has evolved that much, is not that easy for you, for anyone to get rid of it. Because whenever
Mm,
people, I've seen, sometimes in US, the Congress, they talk about Bitcoin and stuff. I can see that they don't really understand it when they talk about it. You know, they initially a lot of companies, they said, oh, cannot accept Bitcoin, cannot this and that, but they are investing in it. So
mm,
why the reason it has come a very long way. Then in 1983, they had this thing called blinded cash. They used
mm,
this term called blinded cash. David
mhm,
Chom was the first to describe digital money, right? So you can Google about David Chom also, right? Chom uses cryptography to create a blind digital signature termed as blinded cash to make the cash anonymous. But in 1988, what happened? This guy went bankrupt. Okay. However, his concepts, formula, and encryption tools also played a key role in developing digital currencies later, whatever we are seeing now. So actually, rather than Satoshi Nakamoto, we should thank David Chong basically. All right,
mm.
but nobody talks about him. Okay, history has forgotten him. Okay,
Okay.
so now let's continue.
Okay.
Then we had web-based money. All right. So what I'm trying to tell you here is, people didn't just uh, out of nowhere, just in 2008, something is created called Bitcoin, and then it just came out. No, no. All right. See, look at that thing that progressed. It is way beyond. I have read this book called about on Bitcoin and blockchain revolution and all that.
Mm,
I can actually read the history, and I can see, oh my God, it's not easy, what people have come across, and there are many people involved in it, right? Now, even in the
yeah.
1990s, many companies tried to enlarge Chom's ideas. One example is PayPal. Okay, PayPal is based on this particular idea only.
Mm,
Now, it allowed the users to send money quickly and safely via web browser. Combined with eBay, it secured a dedicated user base and still remains a major payment service, right? Now, some traded e-gold, offered credit in exchange of gold or other precious metals. In 2005,
mm,
US has to shut down due to scams. When it comes to gold, easily people will scam, or even with the credit exchange and stuff like that. So they had to shut it down. All right. Then
mm,
1998, what they created called B Money. This was introduced by Wei Dai, who was also a developer, right? And he used digital pseudonyms, okay, in a distributed environment to transfer digital currency. It even enforces contracts in the network without using a third party. Not
mm,
successful also, and it failed to get any attention. People just ignored it. All right.
mm,
However, Satoshi used some elements of this B money in his Bitcoin white paper. All right. So again, Satoshi is not the man, basically. All right. You have Wei Dai at the back, you have David Chaum at the back, and all these
mm,
people are there. Right. What I've done about the history is I have actually shrunk it. There are more, okay, but it's going to be bored. Okay, you're going to be bored if I were to talk about everyone. So I just took out the most important people, and some of these people are still alive. You can Google them. Some of them are still in Twitter and so on. Okay. Then we had BitGold, proposed by Nick Szabo. He coined the term. He is the one who actually coined the term smart contract. What we are seeing, the word smart contract, he coined the word in 1994. So the word smart contract is also not new. Okay, this is back in 1994 already. Similar to today's Bitcoin mining process, Bitcoin had its own proof of work mechanism through which the
mm,
solutions were cryptographically signed and broadcasted to the public. Right now, BitGold, to an extent, tried to avoid dependency on central authorities. Also not successful, but added bits to the evolution of digital currency, meaning some of the ideas were taken also. Now,
mm,
Hashcash came out somewhere also in the 1990s, one of the most successful pre-Bitcoin digital currencies, developed by Adam Back to serve many purposes like reducing email spams, prevent DDoS attack. Also
mm,
uses proof of work algorithm to help in generating or distribution of new coins. In 1997, he also ran into the same issue faced by other currencies.
mm,
Eventually, became less effective because of its increasing processing power requirement. Just
yeah.
still people arguing on like Bitcoin, uses a lot
Mm,
of power. So he had the
mm,
same issue there.
yeah.
Hashcash. All right.
Mm,
Then Halfini, okay, is the best guy. Okay, Halfini. David Chom introduced crypto. Okay, to Halfini. Halfini is a scientist basically. Okay,
mm,
and David Chom introduced cryptography to Halfini in 1991.
mm,
Halfini is a computer scientist. During the early internet, he is one of the person who adopted it. He was also with together what they call as online communities. Okay, now what we have, like now we have WhatsApp chat group, we have Telegram chat groups and stuff like that. Those days we never had all these applications, but they
mm,
used to have email groups basically. All right.
mm, mm,
So in this one of these some of these email groups, they are like very private, where they will go and talk about this creation of money and all those stuff. So
mm,
these cypherpunk and extropians are some of the famous ones used to be there. All right. And actually, Satoshi Nakamoto is from there also. He was there in
mm,
cypherpunk. All right.
mm,
They
mm,
debate, okay, and how new tech could be harnessed. All right. Because what they want is they want to give the power to the individuals. That means they don't want the banks, as because we saw the fractional reserve system earlier on the
mm,
banks. That's why I went into that particular area. Now this
mm,
group actually didn't want these banks to control it. Their question was, okay, who are you, okay, to say that, oh, for let's say when you want to transfer money, you are charging interest rate, but you're
mm,
making money out of it. Why should we go through you? Why not,
mm.
even can be another country, I
Yeah.
send it directly to that
Mm,
person and he uses it. All
mm,
right. What you don't, we know, don't need you. This was the argument. All right.
mm,
Then also, because you are using this money, NSA, the government, US government, they snoop. Okay, that means they check where you are sending money, how much you are getting, why is it going here, why is it going there. They check on you. All right.
mm,
Even now, when you have so much of money, of course, I'm not saying that this is wrong, but because
mm,
a lot of people, they are getting cheated in scams and stuff like that. All right.
mm,
And we have mule accounts and all that.
mm,
And now it's become more intense, where people, even for a little bit of money, they question you why. Why money is
mm,
coming in. It's like
mm,
everything you have to answer, because sometimes you want to keep business secret, right?
mm,
But then they keep on asking you why, so you have no choice to tell. So all these things they don't want. All right.
mm,
So in 1993, cypherpunk, among them, they had this manifesto delivered to their mail list, where Eric Hughes is a Berkeley mathematician. Privacy is necessary for an open society in the electronic age. This is what he said. Okay, when
mm,
my identity is revealed through transaction mechanism, I have no privacy. So again, now the issue is on privacy. All right, why
mm,
the privacy issue came in? Because they have already found out about that you can have the privacy through cryptography.
mm,
The public key and private key and stuff. Okay, they already found out that they can have the privacy that they wanted most.
mm,
Right. So basically, between 1988 and 2008, number of ideas came out for digital money using cryptocurrency, but failed. Right. And it empowers individual against traditional source of authority, basically banks. Right. Money was the center of their efforts to reimagine the future. And
mm,
existing financial system is one of the biggest threat to individual. If you think about it, you will know actually. Okay.
yeah.
Think banks and individual, what's happening, you will actually identify yourself. All right. Now, August 2008, Satoshi Nakamoto, he mailed a short paper to Adam Beck of Hashcash. We just saw him. Adam Beck is still alive. Huh? You guys can,
Mm,
go and see his tweets and stuff like that. Okay. Now, so he communicated. And so what Adam Beck said, go and look into something described as Bitcoin. Satoshi
mm,
Nakamoto told Adam Beck,
mm,
uh, where his identity is not known till today. But then Adam Beck was not convinced in the beginning paper, right? The short paper. Then 6 weeks, Satoshi Nakamoto was very quiet, and then he came back, and then he posted in Cypherpunk the 8-page white paper, the final version, and he
mm,
claimed it solved most problem with cryptography,
mm,
and he said now we can avoid banks and
mm,
we can have our own privacy. All right.
mm,
And still, Adam Beck was okay, but still he didn't want to adopt it. But then the person who adopted this was Hal Finney, the scientist I mentioned just now.
mm, mm,
So Hal Finney said, "Okay, let's try it out."
mm,
So those days, they used to have computers, the normal computers. So the creation started, and Finney is the first one to support Satoshi, and
mm,
he's the first one to receive 10 BTC during the first test. That means
mm,
Satoshi Nakamoto sent the first 10 bitcoins to Hal Finney. Of course,
mm,
it has got no value around that time, but
mm,
he is the one who received. And Hal Finney, he died or he passed away maybe a few years back only.
mm,
Right? You can check Google about him. He has actually donated his body for a special what do you call research
mm,
facility. I forgot the name of that research science facility. This research is basically on something like taking your awareness system from your brain, and then using the some technology preserve back into robots or something like that, artificial intelligence stuff. I don't know. I forgot. I forgot that read up. Maybe you can check and see about
mm,
what do you call. It's interesting read basically,
yeah,
right? So basically, that is the history is all about. That's how the history evolved and came to Satoshi Nakamoto when he created Bitcoin. All right. So
mm,
this is the creation of Bitcoin. Basically,
mm,
it's a cryptocurrency, or in Malaysia we call it as crypto asset. It's referred as asset. Now, what is cryptocurrency? Basically, it's a digital money created from code. What is code?
mm,
What you have in the cryptography and all that. This is the coding or the language, all right, that tells,
mm,
okay, this is what you do if you do this and stuff like that. Okay. Now, it
mm,
is an economy monitored by peer-to-peer internet protocol. So that means there's no central authority who is actually checking on you. So
mm,
cryptographic currency is an encrypted string of data or hash encoded to signify one unit of currency, basically. So
mm,
example, you have Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, or other coins in the
mm,
market. So I already told you how it came. So that's how the Bitcoin came about, right?
mm,
So Bitcoin basically is a cryptocurrency whose ledger is maintained by the blockchain openly. Why I say openly? You will be able to see a transfer of Bitcoin from one party to another party online, okay, through their own platform. You will be able to see that. The numbers which are being tracked in the ledger is called the Bitcoin, okay, you can see. But the thing is, you won't be able to know who this person is, all right?
mm,
But you'll be able to see the hash and all that, that money is being transferred. Now, who
mm,
put the money there in Bitcoin? So no one put the money. Okay, the way in which it's created is whereby Satoshi Nakamoto has created the maximum Bitcoin that can be utilized is only 21 million. So if you are
mm,
saying inflation is because you print money,
mm,
okay, he didn't want that, okay, because he looked at bank. Just now we looked at evolution of the bank. Whenever they
mm,
want, they will print money. He wanted to
mm,
avoid that, so here he fixed it. But then
mm,
you can say, hey, 21 million, how is it enough? All right, so
mm,
that is where he has his system, where halving system, where every 4 years it goes into half. The every 10 minutes what you are receiving, it goes into
mm,
half. All right.
mm,
And as of today, now, okay, currently around 19 million BTC has been mined. All right.
yeah,
Then people might ask, worried, hey, there's only 2 more million left. All right. What is going to happen? All right. But the thing is, because of this halving process, for the 2 million to complete big, that means it's going to be even harder for people to get the Bitcoin, or it is going to be lesser and lesser. And the
mm,
entire 21 million, 2 more millions will only complete in the year 2140. Right.
mm,
So there's about another 120 years left, right around there.
mm,
Okay, so no need to worry too much on that, because people have asked me question, hey, how if you finish already?
yeah,
Okay, I say, yeah, 2140 only, yeah, but still finish what? Then why are you worried what's going to happen in 120 years when
yeah,
you are not sure whether you're going to be there or not in the first place? Okay. All right. So it always happens. So the Bitcoin value is created due to its huge demand and limited supply, right?
mm,
Let's say there is let's say, for example, you have 100 golden color toy unicorn, for example, in the world, and everybody wants it. Nowadays,
mm,
you collect all these cards and all those stuff which is limited. They call it limited edition.
mm,
Everything they'll have that limited edition. So when you have it, over the years, the value will go up. Then this one unicorn can be worth of millions of dollars in future. So you can
mm,
technically trade using those golden toy unicorn. So this is
mm,
exactly what is happening now. So Bitcoin is equivalent to this toy golden unicorn, right? Where we
mm,
are having now.
mm, mm,
Okay, now question: Bitcoin and blockchain. What's the relation, right? Because our topic today is blockchain and money, basically. So
mm,
what I mentioned to you, or what I spoke to you earlier, it's all about money, basically. How the barter trade started, how the banks evolved because of that, and then what's the problem with the banks, and because of the problem, why all these scientists got together and they feel that this monetary system has to change, and that is where the cryptocurrency or Bitcoin was born due to that. Now, what is blockchain then? So basically, it's an implementation of blockchain, right? Meaning it powers the Bitcoin cryptocurrency and other cryptocurrencies. Basically, it is the platform. That means why the Bitcoin is there is the technology behind Bitcoin is named as blockchain. Basically, to keep it simple, blockchain is just a software. That's all. All right.
Mm,
Just keep thinking about that. Blockchain is a software, right? Because I've spoken to a lot of people, the way they come and talk to me, hey, blockchain. I feel that for them it's something that is a huge robot, or it is something which is so difficult that is standing in front of them, and basically you just give it to do something, it will do it for you. The imagination is like that, because people have been talking blockchain technology, use this blockchain technology, so people are confused of how this technology look like, right? When I say computer, you can imagine, oh, okay, it's computer. So whenever I tell them, okay, so basically what is blockchain, it's just mere software, that's all. You just need to know coding to code what you want or how you want it to happen, that's it. Right now the technology is also behind how Bitcoin is powered, basically, right? And also other cryptocurrencies, just like Google and Facebook, which are one of the application of internet. Now you have internet, okay? Because of internet you have world wide web, okay, www and all that. Now above this you have Google, all right? Then you also have Facebook. Now with Google you have Google Mails, all right? So it is built on top of this particular thing called internet and world wide web. So similarly, as a bottom you have blockchain, just like an internet, right? That's why blockchain is referred as the new internet, all right? So on
mm,
top of this blockchain you can build cryptocurrencies. The example is Bitcoin. That's how it is born. Now, later on, they found out that it is not just Bitcoin that you can have, or it's not just cryptocurrencies, but you can also create other applications, basically, that is going to be helpful for many other things, which I come shortly. All right. So that's how it's created. So other application of blockchain is like, you have Ethereum, Ripple, Waves, etc. Right. So many other things. So basically, that's the relation between Bitcoin and blockchain. Now, blockchain basically the technology behind Bitcoin.
mm,
So, what is blockchain technology? Basically, it is an incorruptible, meaning you cannot go and change it. Okay, you cannot corrupt it in digital ledger of economic transaction, money. Basically, when you say economic transaction, it's money. So you cannot simply go and corrupt it. Okay, you cannot go into a Bitcoin ledger or Bitcoin system and then change everything. You want to change it to 210 million of Bitcoins to be inside. Cannot. You won't be able to do that, right? So this economic transaction that can be programmed to record not just financial transaction. So at this point of time, it is recording financial transactions in cryptocurrencies, but it can also record virtually every other value. Anything that has got a value, it can actually record it, right? So that is what they want it. So this is the reference of the book where I took that phrase, basically. Okay, Don and Alex Stepson, authors of Blockchain Revolution 2016. You can actually get these books in any bookshops. They sell this book. So what is blockchain? It's a decentralized ledger, right? Now always have the problem now. Decentralized. When you say decentralized, it's not one person is not owning that. Okay, that tracks digital assets on peer-to-peer network. That means it's one machine to another machine. All right. So there is no human involvement here, just like banks. Now bank is a centralized place whereby when you put in money, they know who you are. When you transfer money, they know who you are. They know who is the person receiving it. All right. Whereas here, it is peer to peer, but these machines are doing that. Because let's say when you transfer, let's say you have 100,000 in your account and you transfer 10,000, your ledger should show 90,000 balance. All right. So the system, or the, let's say, the system that has been created in the bank will be able to do the ledgering process, debit and credit. All right. So the moment you remove money 10,000, it should reflect the balance of 90,000. Imagine this system doesn't track that. What is going to happen? All right. Or the people in the banks, they don't track this. So you might have transferred 10,000, but because there's no ledgering process or there's no checking on that, you will still have the 100,000 in your account. And you will send multiple 10,000s to maybe 1,000 people, and everybody will be having $10,000 in their account. How nice, huh? It can happen. It's just like emails, right? Whatever you are sending the email, you are just sending copies of email. It is not the original of the email. So it the bank would have become just like an email system where you are sending copies of the money if there is no proper ledger happens. But when it comes to decentralized, there are no human beings doing it, right? So therefore we have machines, what we call it as mining machines, that does the work for you, right? So they do the ledgering system. So that means every time there's a transfer, they will be able to identify, oh, you have 10 bitcoins with you, so therefore you have transferred 3 bitcoin to your friend. Now your wallet will show balance of 7 bitcoins, so the machines will verify it. Now, any real example for this type of ledger tracking? Records of your sale or purchase of raw material, you can put it in the record, or maybe simply your bank account statement, right? An Excel sheet tracking all hospital equipments, which sorry, simply to say there's a large size of book, right? So that is what is blockchain all about. So when you say ledger, list of transactions since day zero of the blockchain, that means from day zero until one, day two, day three, whatever transaction that has been there, you can actually track and it will still remain there. Now, all the transaction collectively called the ledger in the blockchain. So how do you define a blockchain? So layman, people like normal people, we don't know anything about technology. Okay, how do you define it? Blockchain is an ever-growing, secure, shared record-keeping system in which each user of the data holds a copy of the record, which can only be updated if all parties involved in a transaction agree to update. Okay, that means everybody update. Okay, I also update. So technical definition is a peer-to-peer distributed ledger that is cryptographically secure, append only, immutable, and updatable only via consensus or agreement among peers. It's a bit tough to digest, but I'm just reading it for you. That's all. Okay, now we looked at the word peer to peer just now. This means there's no central controller in the network. Okay, it's just one party to another party. There's no center person. Okay, person to person. That's peer to peer. Distributed ledger, blockchain is a distributed. It simply means the ledger is spread across the network among all peers in the network, and each peer or each person holds a copy of the complete ledger. That means whatever record that goes in now, all the machines will have the same record. That means you can have the original copy of this record in all the machines. Let's say you write a will. Now, this will it put in the blockchain side. Now, every will be available in all these particular machines, basically. So, cryptographically secure means that cryptography has been used to provide security services, which makes the ledger secure against tampering and misuse. That means you can't easily control it, unless I'm not saying that just because I say cannot control that you can't really control. They call this thing called 51% control. That means if any people or body, they are able to attack this particular system where 51% of this entire people controls the whole thing, they'll be able to hack the system. All right. But
Mm,
for now, for Bitcoin, it's impossible to do. They will have to spend like billions of US dollars within 10 minutes if you want to control the entire system all over the world, right?
mm,
It's not that easy. All right. And this one I'm going very fast because not really. When you say append only, data can be added in the blockchain time order in a sequential order. This properly implied once data is added, it is almost impossible to change it. As I mentioned, 51% attack, and it's updatable via consensus. So this gives blockchain a power of decentralization. Okay, in this scenario, no central authority is in control. Instead, any update made to the blockchain is validated against strict criteria defined by the blockchain protocol itself and added to the blockchain only after a consensus. That means everybody must agree and has been reached among the participating nodes of the network. Only then it will be added. Otherwise, it won't be added.
mm,
So, if I were to give you the good example, analogy of a book, let's say, imagine you have a book in front of you. Now, the blocks in a chain is equivalent to pages in the book. So, imagine every page, okay? Let's say you write a story, you write the title, you write the date, and then you cite the subtitle, and then you start writing the story. So, this is one page. Then you move on to the next page, then next page, then next page. All right. So this is how the blocks, okay, in a chain are arranged in a block in blockchain basically. Now the information about yourself, like chapter number and all that, these are the data about the data, okay, or all the data that you're going to put in is called a metadata. All right, that means how much you're sending, what time you send, all right, and everything will be recorded. So in a blockchain block, each block, okay, so imagine each page of a book will have the contents of the block, for example, crypto assets of the crypto transaction, the miner incentive reward if there is any, and so on, and a header which contains the data about the block. In crypto, the header includes some technical information about the block. You have hash and all that stuff, and then each page is linked to another page. All right. So can you imagine tearing off a page from the book? In a book, you can easily do that, but not in blockchain. So it's same thing will happen. If let's say 51% attack happens, someone can actually remove the block and input a new block inside also. Now, so it includes some technical information and previous block, reference to the previous block, and also they call it fingerprint or the hash, basically, right? And the data, everything will be there. So this is why I give you an analogy of a book. Okay, every page is a block and they are chained together. So that's why the name did as blockchain, right? So this is how it works. This is for Bitcoin platform basically. Now, if you see, I'm sure you have seen this chart in most places. Alice wanted to send money to Ben. Then first block is created. That means you send the money. First block is created. That means how much is going to be sent, what time, and everything. Then block is broadcast to all the miners basically in the parties of network. And then if you look at number 4, so those in the network will approve the transaction and validate it. That means they will confirm, okay, Alice is out of 10 Bitcoin, is sending 3 Bitcoin to Ben. Therefore, now Alice wallet will have 7 and Ben will get additional 3, right? So they will validate it. Now the block is then added in the chain, which provide a permanent, non-repudiable and transparent record of the transaction. Then Ben will confirm, you'll have the confirmation, 2, 3 confirmation. You'll already have the Bitcoin in his wallet, right? Okay, so sometimes people will refer for convenience purpose. They always say, "Oh, this is blockchain 1.0, blockchain 2.0, and stuff like that." Okay,
mm,
these are the activities in blockchain that it's broken down into these categories basically. People, if you come across these type of words, when they call it blockchain 1.0, what are you referring at? They're referring at the currency, because when initially
mm,
Bitcoin started, it was 1.0, the deployment of cryptocurrencies and application related to currency transfer and so on. 2.0, basically later on, you had contracts, the entire slate of economic, market, financial application, where you can put in transaction of bonds, stock, future, loans, mortgage, anything related to money, and also having the smart contract. That means if this is released, this person gets it. These are put in the smart contract. All right, for financial purposes, this is blockchain 2.0. Now, blockchain 3.0 is where applications beyond currency, that means more than currency, finance, and the markets. Okay, like for example, application in the areas of government, healthcare, literacy, culture, any other application other than finances are referred as blockchain 3.0. So the next round, when people tell you, oh, what talk is it going to be? Oh, it's going to be on blockchain 1.0. That means we are going to talk about cryptocurrency, or 3.2.0 or 3.0. You'll be able to identify. All right. Then you have this thing called technology stack. All right. Now it refers to a combination of programming languages, basically. All right. Blockchain technology refers to various components in the blockchain application system. You have programming language, protocols, what they call a consensus algorithm. I mean, for a simple matter, we don't have to look into all this. I have simplified it further. If you look at Bitcoin, terminology itself can be confusing, because when you say Bitcoin, it can denote 3 things. First, Bitcoin refers to the blockchain technology itself. The second, Bitcoin is used to mean the protocols that run over the underlying blockchain to describe how assets are transferred on blockchain. Okay, A gets it from B and stuff like that. That means you are telling it's a crypto. At the same time, you're telling this is how it moves one to another one. And the third, it denotes it's a digital currency. Okay, the first and
mm,
the largest of the cryptocurrency. So it's always very confusing. Now, how do you look at it? It's like this. Okay, so you call this as a layer. When you say layer 0, basically it's all our computer equipment that we have now. Okay, your laptop, your power, your internet. This is basically layer 0. All right. If you talk about, I'm just referring to Bitcoin first. Okay. Now, what is the first layer? Okay. Now, from 0, you need all this to go into the first layer. The blockchain is decentralized, transparent ledger with the transfer records. The database is shared by all network of nodes. updated by miners, monitored by everyone, and owned and controlled by no one. It is like a giant interactive spreadsheet that everyone has access to and updates and confirms that digital transaction transferring funds are unique. So that's the first layer. That means the transfer itself. Now, the second layer, what is it? The middle tier of the stack is, we call it as a protocol. Okay, the software system that transfers the money over the blockchain ledger. So means the protocol is very important. All right. So sometimes they will say layer two blockchain, all right, layer three blockchain, or normally they'll call layer two blockchain. So when you say layer two blockchain, maybe they adopt someone and then they are using it to create their own protocols basically. Then you have third layer. The top layer is the currency itself, which is Bitcoin, which is denoted as BTC. That means there's a currency. So you have the currency, the protocol, and the transfer itself. All right. And also other matters, there are hundreds of cryptocurrencies, of which Bitcoin is the first, and the major currency can be tracked where you can check it in your coin market cap and so on. All right. So this is the technology stack for them. So what is cryptocurrency? It's a medium of exchange created and stored electronically in blockchain. An encrypted string of data or hash encoded to signify a unit of currency. Basically, I've told you all how currency is and so on. And they are built on public supply and demand and totally controlled by these basically. Okay. Now, what is an exchange, right? So you have cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency has to be somewhere, right? So where is cryptocurrency exchange or digital currency exchange? Is a business that allows customers to trade cryptocurrencies or digital currencies for other assets, such as conventional fiat money or other digital currencies. All right. In Malaysia, we have about five approved centralized exchange, right, where you can actually convert your cryptocurrencies to fiat money to cryptocurrencies. So, and for us, fiat money is ringgit Malaysia. Now, these exchanges are also accepting credit cards and payment, and they can be a market maker that typically takes a bid ask spreads as a transaction commission for its service, or a matching platforms. They simply charge fees for you. And after the recent fiasco of what do you call it, FTX, all right? I'm sure most of you have known about FTX, how they went bankrupt and stuff like that. There's more talk on having a proper decentralized exchanges is talk of the town already, all right? So you can Google on what happened to FTX and so on. Okay, moving on. This is how the exchange will look like. You can go and check. Okay, now the combination of blockchain technology and cryptocurrency has a potential to open door to other revolutionary possibilities also, like what you see here: smart contract, right? Create protocols that automatically enforce a contract, smart property that automatically trade your property via the blockchain, notary services, we have commissioner of oath and so on. Services prove that a document existed at a specified date or time, right? Or bonded identity services, secure identities verified by the blockchain, right? So basically, all this requires a lot of data and so on. Now, these are some of the areas. In fact, I can do even more explanation on this, but we won't have time the whole day today, right? I was given like 1.5 hours, so I have to move fast. Otherwise, you'll start sleeping in front of your computers, basically. All right. So these are some of the ecosystem, or what they refer as the disruption, right? Now, for example, banking and payments, cybersecurity, supply chain, forecasting, networking, IoT, insurance, private transport, ride sharing, online data storage, right? Charity. These are the areas where blockchain can be used. In fact, voting system, governments can utilize it, public welfare, healthcare, energy management, online music, retailing, real estate. In fact, even in your industry, what do you think that you want to apply blockchain for? Not a hype. If let's say your existing software is already enough to cater for your own need, then you don't have to spend extra money for input the blockchain system in your company, basically. All right. Some of this ecosystem, what we're having now, we have infrastructure layers, right? You have miners, you have distributed computing, distributed storage, a lot of industry application, exchanges, wallet, money transaction, privacy and identity, and so on. All we have, right? Now, before that, in fact, I something which I didn't write inside here is now we have systems of decentralized finance. You have decentralized finance where it's more of a decentralized exchanges where you can actually uh, lend your money, right, borrow money, and so on. So you have a lot of this idea on decentralized finance. Gamification, okay, game finance they call that, or GameFi, right? You have areas of GameFi, and basically this can be the might be the next topic which I will cover, okay, on GameFi, right? Does this work, and what is it all about, and so on. All right. And you have NFTs, right? Now NFTs are non-fungible tokens that you have is also okay. The basic idea, all these are basically blockchain, that where all these applications are created on top of it, right? So end of the day it boils down towards blockchain. So NFTs, initially it was just like for artwork, right? You have simple PDFs where people were selling and so on. uh Line cut off. Shit. Can you, did you offer just now? நான் மெசேஜ் பண்ண தானே. Can you off all your what is on? Hi, can you hear me? Oh, okay. So that means it's Michael's line was cut. Okay, okay. Let me, sorry guys. Let me share it again. Okay. Okay. So basically, just now I was covering. Just give me a minute, guys. Let me answer. Okay, so we have NFTs, all right? So we have like non fungible tokens that started off as what you call as PDF formats where artwork or music, it was just on that. And even in NFT itself, it started having a lot of applications now. All right, on our side, all right, in APU themselves, we have become the first one. We joined with Massverse, all right. We joined with Massverse. We are the first university that is going to give out micro credential certificate in NFT form. All right. So these are some of the application because of the blockchain technology is there. So it has evolved to that particular area. All right. Now NFT, the area of NFT will be one area where it will be covered in this micro credential, and all this. When you say micro credential, they are short courses that you can take. All right, and then you have this idea called like games. You have uh, play to earn. All right. Now for the education side, we have learn to earn, basically. Okay, we have learn to earn. So that means when you learn, all right, you will also earn because you have got the micro credentials and so on. So this will be updated to you at a later time. Okay, so these are some of the few industry examples. For example, you have Power Ledger. All right. In fact, I've worked closely with Power Ledger, whereby you can transfer renewable energy and you can trade your energy. Even in fact, we tried out a project in Malaysia called peer-to-peer energy transfer in blockchain. So I hope it will be looked into after this. All right. So that is on the energy sector. We also have other things called, okay, other companies or blockchain platforms called Quorum, right? They've These are for the business purposes that they are having. End-chain and financial, they're using blockchain technology. Stacks, right, for capital markets, for example. Hyperledger, right, where you can create your blockchain on top of it. We have R3 Corda, an open source, right? And okay, so you have Hedera Hashgraph. These are the examples that I can give you. So basically, these are the exciting times, and blockchain revolution is revolutionizing. The technology genie has already unleashed from its bottle. Now it's our service for another kick of can. Blockchain is pushing us into a new era, basically, predicated on openness, merit, decentralization, and also global participation. All right. So that is from my side. Let me take some of your questions after this. Okay. So I think Michael is having a problem. He can't connect. Guys, please ask me questions. You can type. In fact, the last few slides that came out after that, they are not really relevant, because I just took photos of all these, what do you call, industry, like Power Ledger and all these companies which I mentioned just now. So you can see all the industries or the companies that are already adopting it. Or you can ask me any questions now. Maybe you can type the questions. I'll be able to read the questions. Can't see my slide. Yeah, I think that's the earliest slide. Guys, you have any questions on anything that is related to blockchain, cryptocurrencies? You can just type your questions and I'll be able to see here. Okay, what are the essentials to know before we start trading? Any recommended training? Okay. At the moment, what I see many people are doing, they are charging exorbitant amount, for trading and stuff like that. There's no, I won't be able to recommend, because what happens sometimes, these trainings, the so-called, training they give you, after that they take you into some kind of MLM market. That's what I'm worried, to give any recommended trading, for example. But what you have to know before you trade is basically your knowledge on the currency itself. Okay, for example, sometimes you have to decide what type of currency that you are planning to trade, and on which platform that you are planning to trade that. All right, and then you should be able to look at the market. All right, so what I know, like, you have to be alert, uh, and sometimes some information that, if you, let's say, if you have learned on forex, for example, some of those areas that you have learned can be applicable in here also. I'm not saying everything, but some of it, the knowledge on the, which graph to see and stuff like that. Other than that, I'm not there enough to recommend any training if you want to trade. Okay, But what you can do is, when I say trader, basically it's buy and sell. All right, like I can give examples of how people I know what we do basically. You can choose a platform. Let's say let's talk about a local platform, Luno, for example. So let's say when you go into Luno, you there are coins that are listed in Luno, for example, and then you can just buy at a lower price, and when it comes higher, you will sell it at high. All right. But also remember that it's a very high risk market, especially when you want to trade. So you should be able to invest or trade the money that you think that you are not going to use for the next few years. Let's say you have, let's say, 2 3 thousand, let's say $1,000 that you want to spend to buy and sell. I want to be Make sure that 1,000 is not your savings, or it is not something that you will need in the next few years maybe. Right. So that type of money you have to be ready that you can put in, because sometimes I know people, they put in their life savings, they withdraw from EPF, and then they pump in inside, and then they end up losing out the money. And imagine, and it's still a bear market. All right. We don't know when the market will go up. So sometimes in bear market, even the amount, you can see that a lot of these big time players are already missing. All right. So when the amount goes down further, people might you won't lose that crypto basically, but then if you can hold it, okay, what we call as hodler, right, or hodl, HODL, right, or holders of these cryptos, right, and if you can wait, then yes, you can wait. But I can't say waiting period for all the currencies. So these are some of the things that you can check. You need to read a lot about the background of the currency that you are going to what you call trade also. So these are something that I can recommend. Okay, would you think that we stake the USDT? Would you think that we stake the USDT in more earning than we save our money in banking? Okay. Okay, personally, I'm not advising this to you. My answer would be yes. All right, yes. But the thing is, at least in bank, as I mentioned just now, at least it's guaranteed return. You are guaranteed that, after about a year, you put in a fixed deposit, and then they give you certain percentage of money, and then you're getting it. But the problem is taking is, are you staking in the right platform or not? That is very important. And will it actually give or not? Yes, I know there are platforms that is giving staking, and whoever Hong Chan, okay, who asked this question, I'm sure you are staking it somewhere. All right, keep staking. Make sure that you know that wherever you are staking, it is safe. That's all right. Because my question will be, what if, it's still high risk? What if, the price goes down, or something happens to USDT? So all these are risk factors that we look at. But okay, I mean, I will still say that you can get more earning, because even in DeFi market, you can actually earn more than what the bank is earning. The thing is, it's very difficult to tell to people, because why? The When you come into cryptocurrencies, people don't see the risk factor. They don't see it high risk or low risk. They don't see the risk factor. What they see is profit. The moment they don't get the profit because of some mistake or something happens, they're going to blame it on us or saying it. All right. So that is why I'm taking like very neutral, and I'm just saying what I feel, right? Not an advice. Okay. So that's why I think, and for me, I feel staking USDT is more, of course, more than the bank. As if you have seen my slides earlier, right? The idea of cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology itself, yeah, has started way before even they want to counter uh, bank, right? If you want to be safe, you can put it in your bank basically. Okay, why does BTC control how the entire market is? Why does BTC control? Is it because they are the main parent coin? All alternate coins will be affected if BTC goes down or up. Is it because they will always the main coin forever? Okay, it's like this. Bitcoin has become the main, yes, number one is because they were the one who actually started. All right, they were the beginning. So the adoption on Bitcoin is more. Like for example, if you look at all the companies, or infrastructure, okay, the companies that want to invest, they will only invest in, or they will buy Bitcoins. All right, they will buy Bitcoins. Imagine the cryptocurrency platform as a small boat, all right. Now you have a bigger boat where people always reluctant to see, or they don't want to blame. You have a huge share market, you have huge forex market out there, bonds and whatnot, okay. That is a huge ship out there floating with all these other other areas, like as I mentioned, shares and stuff like that, okay. And compared to that, cryptocurrency market is just like a sampan there, just like a boat there. Okay, I'm just giving you a simple example. Now, when the entire big, huge market is good, you have surplus of money or you have surplus. What are they going to do? All this money, these companies or whatever companies holding these shares, extra money, they will pump in into the small boat. Okay, that means buying Bitcoin and stuff. So they will start buying and all that. The main one will be Bitcoin that they buy. All right, but they don't buy the others. All right, but the other cryptocurrencies, they also base or they hold some Bitcoins or Ethereum or other currencies to support the value for themselves, right? Because let's say, for example, a currency that they want to trade, a company that has just introduced a new cryptocurrency, they can't be going and paying whatever transaction fee or what that they are going to give to another organization or something like that, in what they call in their own currency. It has to be in fiat or it has to be in Bitcoin, basically. So they will need to adopt it also. Now, what is going to happen when all this pump in? Automatically, there will be other coins, okay, which is when the value goes up, the value that these holders will also go up, because why everybody started buying. But there is a limitation, or there is a limited number or amount of Bitcoin that they could buy. Now, when there is a problem on for the big ship, immediately the big ship will pull out everything from the small ship. And what I'm saying now, it is not happening uh, every 1 week later or 2 week later. No, it is in minutes and seconds it's happening. They just pump in, they just pull out, pump in, pull out, pump in. Can you imagine how the small sampan, which is a small cryptocurrency market, will shake? All right. So that is why I won't agree when people say that when cryptocurrency is going to be the source of collapse, or that is going to bring in the next economic problem to the world. Impossible. All right. It is not cryptocurrency that is going to bring the market down. It is the fiat money or whatever fiat is involved, which is going to bring the market to inflation. All right. It is not the crypto market at all. It is because of the relative connection that these always move. But then it is a new player, right? That is why everybody is looking at it. The way they are claiming it, like the crypto market is the largest in the world, where it can even control your share market or any countries and stuff like that, is not logic. All right. So that is my take on that's how it is affected. All right. So it's not really the BTC control, it's basically the reliance on BTC, that where the market is pulled out and comes back. All right. So sometimes the holders of other currencies, when they see the market is going up, so whatever is going to happen, so they will also sell. Okay, they will also start selling and to convert back to Bitcoin or something like that, so that also fluctuate. All right. So that is one reason. Are we Joshua? Earlier the question was Satish Kumar. Thanks Satish Kumar, you're most welcome. Joshua asks, do we have a chance to learn the basic knowledge pertaining trading from this platform in future? Okay, will we will take it into that suggestion. We will keep it to we will see how we can do that. But probably there can be other platform where we might be coming out. Just now I mentioned to you about Masvers. We will work together with Masvers and might have this type of trading knowledge. We are planning actually, and so we will update you. All right, I'm sure you have taken my phone number earlier. You can message me also, or you can be in our YGGC.io, okay, our platform in Facebook and stuff. So if it's going to be anything, any update on the courses, we will surely inform you guys, okay. But I will take into consideration, the knowledge on trading platform, basic knowledge, all right, where yeah, at least some kind of knowledge that you have, so that when you go into the trading platform, you are not shocked, or you are like don't know what to do and stuff like that. We will do that. Thanks, Joshua, for the question. Does university already have course or major in blockchain? Okay, many universities outside, right, Malaysia, for master's level, they already have, okay, they already have courses on blockchain, but mostly in their version is mostly in masters, all right, not really in degree. Like even in APU, you can specialize in blockchain, but purely in a master at a master's level. But like for in APU, at a university level, in most of their courses where the idea of blockchain is relevant, okay, like for example, for our computing courses, or even accounting and finance courses, some of the courses we have topics, or one topic or one module on blockchain, where students are already learning. So this is how we have put in blockchain in APU. Other universities are not so sure how they are doing it, but for APU, we like APU also work together with YGGC. We have a lot of uh, game players, okay, from APU, and also my own private group, where they are playing the games and stuff given by YGGC, the play to earn games, right? So I won't say it's still new. Actually, universities are already adopting it, but a lot of overseas, they are already giving. Like our first initiative now, we are already giving like uh, learn to earn blockchain. Sorry, learn to earn micro credential. It's a certification course. Maybe you spend like Coursera and all that. You do your self learning. All right. Once you have completed, all right, what will happen? You will be uh, the fee for you to mint the NFT will be given by Masvers, or what we are doing now, and that you can actually go and mint your own certificate from whatever you have studied, but you have to make sure you have complete your that particular micro credential, and you can mint your own certificate in NFT format. All right, and it is free of charge, right? We have already signed with APU, and probably in January we are already having a MOA signing ceremony for that. All right, so we are in the midst of preparing the course module and stuff like that. It is expected to be given out, all right, somewhere in mid February. All right, so when it comes, we will give you the announcement. You can anytime can come and take your certification from there also, micro credential certificate. Yeah, yeah, okay, Joshua, right, most welcome. Okay, guys, any other question? Okay, if no other question, I don't know whether Michael will be able to join us. Uh, okay, Michael is not able to come in. Okay, guys, all right. If there are no questions, I assume there are no questions. Thank you for listening, and thanks for all the questions that you have asked. All right, and I hope you have got my number earlier. All right. When is my next session? My next session will be. Hold on, just see my calendar. It will somewhere in January. Okay, it's on January 11. Okay, it will be in January 11th of January next year, 2023. My topic that time will be Game 5. right? It will be on game 5. Yeah. Okay. So gamification, gamification. Sorry, it's on gamification. So anything to do on the play to earn and everything, I will cover there. Thanks, Satish. I hope most of you would have got a most welcome. Would have got a basic idea on blockchain. You can message anytime and ask me anything that you want to know. Probably because here it's short of time, so I was not able to go in detail. All right. Okay, guys, in that case, okay, thank you so much for listening. And Michael has already asked me to end the session if it is already there. He's still not able to make it. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching, and see you in my next session. So we will post it to the channel. All right. Okay. See you all. Bye, guys.